everyone, welcome to 4 Sides with me Anjali. Nepali guide Gelje Sherpa found a Malaysian climber and rescued him from the death zone at Mount Everest on May 18th.
A Malaysian climber narrowly survived Mount Everest death zone after a Nepali Sherpa guide hauled him down from below the summit in a very rare high-altitude rescue, according to Nepal tourism official. It is indeed a rare feat as it is almost impossible to rescue anyone at that altitude. The Malaysian climber was first spotted by Gelje Sherpa. The 30-year-old Sherpa was guiding a Chinese client to the summit when he found the Malaysian climber hanging onto a rope and shivering from cold in the death zone. Death zone is a special name given by the climbers and experts for the highest part of Everest from above 8,000 meters where oxygen is very limited. This is a zone where less oxygen will affect body cells, kill them, and judgment becomes impaired, and climbers, if not fit enough, experience heart attacks and strokes, altitude sickness, and many die from exhaustion as well. The temperature in the death zone can drop to minus 30 degrees as well. Gelje Sherpa convinced his Chinese client to quit his summit in order to rescue the Malaysian man. It took 6 hours for him to haul the climber 600 meters down, and from there he was joined by another Sherpa, Nimatahi. Together they wrapped him in a sleeping mat and dragged him down to the Camp 3 at 7,162 meters, from where a long-haul rescue using helicopter was employed to lift him up and take him away for medical help. He was sent back to Malaysia on a flight. Evidently, there was one more Malaysian with him who is yet to be spotted.
This year, 479 permits were given for the summit from Nepal. The demand for permits comes from the increased number of climbers, some of them professional, while several others who come for fun and adventure. There is an increase in the number of the companies arranging logistics for the climbers as well. What about the question of safety?
The question of safety comes when inexperienced climbers sign up out of enthusiasm and without proper fitness or preparation, and they falter at higher altitudes. Every climber is given a guide or Sherpa, yet when push comes to shove and in case of extreme danger, there have been instances where the clients were abandoned. Yet another important aspect is to associate with trusted and licensed companies with a sense of responsibility for climbing. This will ensure high quality equipment and oxygen cylinders plus safety gear. Most important thing to know is one's limits and to follow instructions, especially for the amateur climbers. For a long time, Nepal has been at the receiving end of criticism for allowing more than stipulated number of climbers and for not ensuring strict fitness rules. Padamati Anvita, the first Indian girl from Telangana state to summit Mount Everest, her 5th major summit, provides interesting insights into the process. She said that there are only 2 ways to summit Mount Everest, one from the Tibet side where the Chinese government has strict rules and it is costlier affair as well. They do not give more than 300 permits and have stringent checks on fitness. From the time of COVID, China stopped allowing people to summit Mount Everest from its end, so the professionals and enthusiasts are ending up having to go from Nepal end. Anvita further goes on to explain that if 479 permits are given, that means 958 people are summiting Everest during what are usually small windows of perfect weather. And while they are climbing up, even if one of the climbers slows down, the rest have to stop unless there are those who use a temporary line to move a little ahead. The second option is dangerous, especially if you aren't a professional, and it tends to tire the climber more. Slowing down also cools down the body, which can be fatal. With so many people climbing the Everest, there are several instances of crowding or what is referred to as traffic. And in such situations, climbers without proper analysis of their abilities or the oxygen that they need or with improper gear will get into danger near the death zone. They must be prepared to climb without getting tired for 19 to 24 hours from the Camp 4 to summit and come back. In 2023, 17 deaths are recorded so far. People lost their lives during the summit for various reasons, and this year is being compared to what is known as the deadliest year 2019. Increased traffic was one of the reasons cited for more deaths in 2019. Following this, Nepal government has proposed changes according to which only experienced climbers and Sherpas will be allowed.
However, Mount Everest summit is one of the major revenue generators for the Himalayan country, and hence it is in no mood to reduce the number. Increasing environmental stress on the base camp, lurking dangers of avalanches due to increasing temperatures, and not to mention human-induced plastic menace are some of the other issues that the Nepal government is dealing with.